All right, y'all. Welcome back to Dead Spot Podcast. NFL season just got kicked off last night with a pretty lopsided game. We won't get into game recaps on this episode. We're going to do that after the Sunday games. I'm having my guys back on. You know how we do it. But I did want to let week one go by without giving y'all my NFL tiers. We did it last season. We bringing it back year two of Dead Spot tiers. Let's jump right into it. Starting at the bottom, we got trash. This do me some pleasure to say this team. They gave us hell for years. Seattle Seahawks, trash. Phony, ain't got much to build on. Got two cool receivers, nothing much else going on. Moving right along, we got the Jets. Zach Wilson out for the first few weeks. I think that's pretty going to be tough. They got a tough schedule to start the season, so I don't think that they could be able to really work that out. Trash. The Jags, some people like what they got going. I'm not that high on it. I don't really see the whole Kirk thing. The not giving James Robinson any carries. I don't get it. Trash. Houston, I like Davis Mills. I like Brandon Cooks. I like Damian Pierce. Nothing too much else going on for y'all. I don't really see it yet. Trash. The Giants, hey, man, like we said with my boy Chuck on this episode, there's only so much I can really say about them, bro. They're not that good. I don't see where they're going. Some people like the direction they're going in. I don't really see it. Moving right along to the next tiers, we got okay, but not a playoff team, starting with the Titans. Losing A.J. Brown, I think, was big. It was already kind of questionable, their receiving core. Now they don't even have him. I know Derrick Henry going to do Derrick Henry, but I think Ryan Tannehill continues to go downwards rather than upwards, so I don't see them making the offs. Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee, one of my favorite players, Bama legend. You know what I'm saying? They got some cool receivers. I don't really know if they got a number one. I like Deontay Claypool, okay, but I don't know if either one of them is like a number one. We'll see if Pickens will come in and kind of take over that role, but as of right now, I don't see them making the offs. The Falcons, Mariota, he just don't do it for me. They got some cool pieces. I like Kyle Pitts. But as far as they need a better quarterback, this is probably like a gap year quarterback in there to try to find somebody else, hopefully in the draft. Carolina, Baker's looking okay in preseason and training camp, but I don't think it's enough to get you over the hump. CMC, hopefully he can stay healthy this year. But, I mean, DJ Moore as well, good player, but I don't think they got enough. Patriots, I know Bill Belichick was able to get y'all in last year with his defense and him just being the genius that he is. The magic is worn off. Your quarterback is McCorkle. You're not getting to the offs. So sorry to tell you. The Browns, your quarterback is out for however long they want to let him go. With Jacoby, I don't see no way that y'all have enough to make it. Nick Chubb is good. Kareem Hunt is unhappy. But then you got Coop. Cooper is a really good receiver, another Bama legend, but he can go missing sometimes. So when you have an inconsistent quarterback with an inconsistent receiver, that's a tough recipe. Moving right along, the Cardinals. I know they was doing really good to start the season last year. No D-Hop first 6 games. I don't see no way they can manage without him. And even when they get back, I think it's going to be tough. So I don't have them making the offs or even in contention. These last two could have been trash, but people been kind of high on me and kind of feeding me stuff. So I'm just letting them ride right here. But they are on trash watch. You got the Detroit Lions. They made some cool pieces. They were the worst team last year. I don't think they'll be that bad, but I'm still on watch. They could move down. The Chicago Bears, I just really like Justin Fields. I know they don't have a lot of weapons. I know their offensive line is terrible. The defense is getting worse. But for right now, I'm going to put them at okay, but not playoff team. They could move down. Now we get into the nitty-gritty. These are 10 teams on this playoff contenders list. 6 of these 10 teams will make it. 4 of them will be out. But I think all of them have a legit shot of making it off. Let's get it started with the Chargers. I know a lot of people high on the Chargers, so am I. But I can't just quite put them in a playoff favor just yet. I think they still need to earn that as they didn't make the playoffs last year. So we're going to put them right there. The Broncos, another team in the same division. You got Russell Wilson. They got all of them weapons. And I'm telling you, a lot of people talking about it looked like when Tampa Bay, when Tom Brady went down there, it could be something similar, but we have to see it first. Another team that didn't make the Miami Dolphins. Tua, my man, it's your year. You got the weapons. You got the run game. Your defense is still solid. This is your year to get it done and get into the offs. I think they got real shot at being in contention. The Saints, famous Jameis, Mike T-Bag, Kamara didn't get suspended. The defense is one of the best in the league. I love what they do out there. Shout out my boy Bear. I think they in, but for right now, I'm still gonna have them in contention. I can't put them up at favor yet, but they in the mix. The Commanders, I know popularly people have been getting on me about having them win in their division. I still feel good about that, but hey, we got to see it. So they in contention, but I do feel like they got the division. The Vikings, I don't know why everybody's so low on the Vikings. They got weapons. Their defense is not just horrible. Like people making it seem Kirk Cousins isn't the best, but he isn't the worst quarterback. He's right there in the mix somewhere in that middle pack. I think they have enough to get in. The Cowboys, because of their division, I'm gonna put them in this conversation. I don't know what they're doing with Zeke. I don't know what they're gonna do with Pollard. Now they saying they might go 50-50. You know what I'm saying? They don't have receivers for the first few weeks other than CD. So it's gonna be a big year for Dak. I personally am interested to watch what they go through, but I think they in the conversation. Eagles, obviously, one of the hottest teams all off season, one of the most talked about teams. A lot of people got them winning their division. I respect it. I think they could get in, but I still need to see how they move around compared to these other teams. Then we have the Raiders. The Raiders, another team that had a pretty good offseason. You got the best receiver in football. You got some pieces on defense. We like what you do. We're gonna see what you do with your run game and things like that. But I definitely think you're in contention again to the off. And then this is gonna surprise people, but I got the Bengals on playoff contention. I know they went to the Super Bowl last year, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to run that back. I really don't. So I will not have them as playoff favorite. I feel like a lot of things went right for them last year in order for them to even win their division and continue to go on. But hey, it happened. Great for them. But that's where they at for me. Moving right along. Now, these 8 teams are pretty much, to me, the top 8 teams in football. We'll see what it goes. Some of it's based off their division, but for the most part, these are the best teams to me. Right here, playoff favorite, we got the Green Bay Packers. I think they could easily win their division. I know they don't have Devontae no more, but you still got Aaron Rodgers, and he's coming off back-to-back MVP years. I feel like he's going to make it happen. He's going to find different guys to get open. I know he was talking about his receiving core. All of that don't matter. He's going to make it happen when it's time. The Colts, they got to upgrade the quarterback. Carson Wentz, my guy, but Matt Ryan is better. So they did get better there. Pittman is another year older. You got Jonathan Taylor, Offensive Player of the Year. You got weapons. You got enough to make it happen. Your defense is really good. So I think they should easily win their division. Then you have the Ravens. The biggest problem with the Ravens last year where they was hurt. If Lamar Jackson is healthy and he got his people, a few pieces around him, all Lamar Jackson does is win games. I'm fully expecting him to bounce back and win his division. He also didn't get his contract by his deadline today. So I think he's coming in motivated. I think he's coming in ready to kill. I really think he's ready to do his thing. So I'm excited to see what Lamar do this season. Moving right along, Super Bowl contenders. These aren't I got another line for top contenders, but these 2 teams are teams I feel like if they made it to the Super Bowl, nobody would be surprised. Right? We got the Bucks. On paper, if you look at it, the Bucks are one of the 2 or 3 most talented teams in the league from top to bottom. Tom Brady coming off one of his best seasons. He could have been MVP last year. Even at 45, you can't count them out. They got enough to get there, and if you get to the big game, you know what TB do. So I'm going to put them there. The Rams, now I should have put this out before last night game because now this don't look as good because they got blew out last night. But it's the first game of the season. They got their rings. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was loving watching them get their head beat in, I would not drop them off of Super Bowl contenders. I think the Rams are still loaded. I still think they're going to get Cam Akers involved. I still think Allen Robinson is going to get involved. They have enough to move around. We'll see what's going on with Stafford Elbow, but they are talented enough on both ends of the ball to make a run just like they did last year. Moving up, we got the top contenders. These 2 teams, I think, have the best chance to unseat the top team in the league, and that would have to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know where this ranking coming with Mahomes is 8. Mahomes is the best player in football, and it's not really that close, in my opinion. Mahomes is going to find a way to get these other guys in. He's going to find a way to get them the ball. Juju, this player, Harmon, he's going to use his running backs a lot more. He's going to show why he's the best player in the league, and that's why I have him as my MVP. I think that this team versus the team I have as the best team will be in the AFC Championship, and I think we got another rematch, but we'll get into that later. Then we have the Niners. When you look at the Niners, tell me where our weakness is. If you want to say quarterback, he's unexperienced, all you got to look at is what Jimmy G did and the limitations that he had and what we asked him to do. We're not going to ask Trey to do much more than that because we have the same weapons. We have the same team. All he got to do is not make some of those same mistakes Jimmy did and make a few more throws. He can do it. Where is another weakness? You used to say our secondary. Our secondary isn't a weakness no more. They're going to be top 12 to 13 in the league for sure in secondary. Our front 4 is probably the best front 4 in the league. Our front 7 is one of the best front 7s in the league. So I don't see where you look at our team and say we're not built to go win it all or be in the Super Bowl. I'm very confident us getting to the Super Bowl this year. I love everything about our team. And now we have the best team in football. Now, this is good that it came after the last night game because it backs up my point. When you look at the Buffalo Bills, I think from top to bottom, when you look at Josh Allen, yes, Mahomes is the best player in football, but Josh Allen isn't that far off anymore. They have Stephon Diggs. They done got Gabe Davis to wake up, and he's killing it now. They got 2 running backs that are solid. They defense, even when Josh Allen made them one early mistake. One of the picks was his fault. One of the picks was the receiver fault. But nevertheless, 2 early picks. The Rams couldn't capitalize on it because the defense was riding high. Von Miller looked like he was in his prime again. Like, I'm gonna have my Bronco brother come on in a later episode, but I got to see what he got to say about Von Miller going crazy like this. This surprised me. So if he gonna play like this, they still gonna get back Trey White. They might have the best overall defense in football. And when you have one of the most talented quarterbacks with weapons around them, where is it? I do think this is their year to get to the Super Bowl. I think right now the Bills is the best team. Josh Allen riding high. They feeling good about just beating the Super Bowl champs. They got a lot of work to do, but that would be my top team. Ladies and gentlemen, your Dev Spot tiers for the week. Like I said, this is it can change week by week. We'll see how week 1 go. Can't wait to get back to you next week. Love to hear what y'all got to say. Subscribe on YouTube. Peace.